How y'all doing on this Thursday? I am Carl, back. We're episode 15 of The Carl Show. And I guess you could say we got a lot to talk about in the world of football. I just want to say real quick, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And happy holidays from here on out. A couple of weeks I will be in Colorado, so I'll be doing my recordings from Colorado. Maybe we'll get some family members on too, to just to kind of show you them. But all of a sudden, they gotta, I guess you could say they gotta okay it with them first, so we'll see how that goes. Um, Real quick, in the world of sports outside of college football and the NFL, because those things are hot right now, some big trades are going to be happening in baseball. It looks like Robinson Cano might be getting traded to the New York Mets. That'll shore up that second base for the Mets pretty good. A couple of players involved in the trade. Don't know where Bryce Harper's going to land quite yet. A lot of these players coming up on one-year deals for free agent tender offers. Reportedly, that they're talking about Craig Kimbrell being a part of that, the closer for the Red Sox. Red Sox are also looking at Diaz out in Seattle for their new closer role. So we'll keep an eye on some of these baseball moves. Not so much really going on in the NBA. Looks like LeBron and the Lakers are starting to pick things up a little bit. Some of these teams, Milwaukee and looks like Oklahoma City are starting to figure things out. Houston's starting to figure it out a little bit more. Golden State's kind of going through a rough patch right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then hockey, it seems like things are just about right on track. Looks like the Buffalo Sabres, Colorado Avalanche, Philadelphia fired their GM. Looks like head coach Dave Haxtell might be on his way out. So the new GM, the head coaching future is in doubt there. Couple of players in mind was a couple people in mind was Chris Pronger, as a lot of people remember. He was a defenseman for the Blues back in the late '90s. He was also part of the Stanley Cup team that won with the Anaheim Ducks. He was part of Edmonton Oilers that won the Western Conference back in 2006. He was reportedly interested in it. He has now bowed out. So we'll keep an eye on some of these things going on in other sports. But mainly, let's talk about the college football for a second. I went 3 out of 6 with my games last week. I had UCF beating USF 38-10. Oklahoma beat West Virginia 59-56. I didn't get Washington and Washington State. Washington ended up being Washington State 28-15. Ohio State trounced Michigan 62-39. So I guess you could say go Buckeyes. I said it. They will be now playing in the Big Ten championship game. Florida beats Florida State for the first time in 5 years. They win 41-14. Florida State is now not going to be bowl eligible for the first time in 36 years. And Boise State beat Utah State 33-24. So we look ahead to college football, and I'm not going to talk about the playoff right now because I think, what is it? Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Georgia are the top four. First two out are Ohio State and Oklahoma and Ohio State. Michigan is number 7, so all these teams will play this weekend. As far as Michigan's concerned, it looks like it's kind of going to be a stretch to see if somebody loses. I think Notre Dame is a shoo-in to get in. They're the only undefeated team other than Alabama and Clemson. If Georgia loses, I think Georgia is out. But I think if Georgia beats Alabama, the debate is Alabama going to be number 3 or number 4? Do you put them below Clemson and Notre Dame? Do you move Georgia up to 1? All these other things. Of course, Oklahoma playing this weekend, so is Ohio State. A lot of these teams. Could UCF sneak in? That's another thing, too. So a lot of these are all going to be conference championship games. The Pac-12 championship is Utah and Washington. I am taking Washington in that game. The Big 12 championship game is Texas and Oklahoma. I think Texas beats them again. Oklahoma does not have the defense. I think Texas is showing signs of improvement offensively and defensively. Memphis UCF in the AAC championship game. That used to be the Big East Conference. Now it's the American Athletic Conference. I think UCF trounces Memphis. Memphis put a lot on Houston last Friday, but I think UCF is determined. I know their quarterback is out with a severe injury. May not come back and play again, but we'll see. Alabama and Georgia. I think Alabama beats Georgia again. It's the rematch of the national championship last year, same stadium. So I think Alabama beats Georgia. Northwestern, Ohio State. I like what I see out of Ohio State. They are determined. Urban Meyer's got that team playing. It pains me to say that as a Michigan fan, but I state facts. I don't try to keep biases out of here. Clemson and Pittsburgh, and I think Clemson beats Pittsburgh. And I think your top 4 is probably going to be Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. That's my top 4. That's my final prediction. Georgia loses. That's going to knock them down. What else is there? Oklahoma. That's going to knock them down. I think Michigan's going to be one of them first teams out, which I had in the beginning of the season as one of the first teams out. I had Wisconsin going all the way. I had Alabama going all the way. I had Miami going all the way. I had, who else was it? Did I have Oklahoma going? I think I had Oklahoma going all the way. I got 2 out of 4 up there still, so that's all right. It's an unpredictable season in college football, kind of. So we'll see what goes on in college football. Next week we will be back. I'll be recording this on Tuesday, so actually I'll probably do it next Wednesday because then we'll know who's going to be in the college football playoff. We can kind of talk about some of these bowl games a little bit more. Anything happens in the news or in other sports, we'll talk about that as well. Also want to give, continue to pray for those affected by the wildfires in California. Donate to the Red Cross. You can text the Red Cross at the number. I don't know what it is. I'm not promoting it. So let's talk about the NFL, and we'll go back to Thanksgiving in Chicago with a backup quarterback beat the Lions 23-16. Dallas beat Washington 31-23, and the Saints beat Atlanta 31-17. I got 3 out of 5 this week. Lost the Washington and Dallas game. I lost the Minnesota and Green Bay game. Minnesota beat Green Bay 24-17. Did get Monday night. Houston beat Tennessee 34-17. Other notables: Denver upset Pittsburgh 24-17. Miami loses to Indianapolis. Sorry for the Dolphin fans, 27-24. Philly squeaks it out against the Giants. Cleveland beats Cincinnati. Cleveland quadrupled their win total from last year. Remember, they went 0-16. Now they're 4-6-1. I was expecting a laugh out of that from somebody here, but I guess not. Tough crowd today. Other notables: Baltimore got back into the playoff hunt with their win over Oakland. New England is still being New England. The Rams and the Chiefs were on the bye. I'm looking at all these games. I'm just bringing up some of them. Seattle wins on the road. I didn't mention that. Seattle wins on the road against Carolina. And that really tightened things up in the NFC playoff picture with Carolina losing, and now Seattle and Washington are the last 2 seeds. Carolina's on the outside looking in now. So a lot of these games that you think, well, it doesn't really mean a whole lot now. It means a whole lot. It doesn't mean a whole lot back then, but it means a whole lot now as far as playoff seedings are concerned. So tonight's game will be the Saints at the Cowboys, and sorry for the Cowboy fans. I think this is the Super Bowl winner right here. I think the Saints are going to go all the way this year. I'm not jumping off Green Bay's bandwagon. It's just a little bit broken right now, but I think the Saints are due. I think Drew Brees wants another Super Bowl. He's determined to get back up there. And I'm not counting out the Rams, the Chiefs, Patriots, these teams like the Steelers, the Chargers. I'm just looking at the top teams in both conferences because right now I think Saints and Rams are miles ahead of everybody else right now. I will say the Bears are doing well. The only thing that scares me about the Bears is the quarterback situation. Mitchell Trubisky's got an injured shoulder. Chase Daniel looked good in relief of him, or in starting for him. But I think the Bears have the defense to go all the way. Let's just see how Trubisky acts. Other than that, it's really who you going to go with. And Dallas, I know, is the division leader. Washington's got, who does Washington play this week? They will be on Monday night, and we'll get to that in a second. So another good game coming up is, and this is going to be my upset pick, Baltimore is at Atlanta. And my upset pick is the Falcons over the Ravens. Now, I don't really think Atlanta's going to win. Just my upset pick. Another big game for 2 teams that are 5-6 trying to get back into that AFC playoff hunt is the Broncos at the Bengals. I think this is the first time all year I am taking the Broncos. I think I took Denver earlier in the year and lost, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. Let's keep all these things together. The big game on Sunday afternoon will be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New England Patriots. Matchup of 6-4-1 going up against a 8-3. And it's in Foxborough. I hate both teams. I hate both teams equally as a Packers fan. I respect the Vikings, but I'm going New England. I just think, I just don't really. That's what you get for beating Green Bay. You got to go to Foxborough and lose. That's the way I see it. I'm just kidding. But I really do think New England's the better team. But I like how Kirk Cousins is playing right now. Played lights out on Sunday night. I think we all know as football fans, you go to Foxborough, it's pretty much a shoe-in you're going to lose. Just the way it is, I guess. And well, I won't go any further than that. The flexed-in Sunday night game this week will be the Chargers at the Steelers. A really good game. I really want to watch this. I really wanted to go Pittsburgh on this, but that kind of thing scared me against Denver. Chargers lost to Denver a couple of weeks ago. Denver also beats Pittsburgh. Denver is a team that is getting hot at the right time. I'm taking the Chargers on the road. I don't know why. I like what I see out of them. I haven't really had to see a lot of them this year. I've seen a lot of Pittsburgh. Sometimes Pittsburgh scares me a little bit. I don't know why. And the Monday night game we were talking about, Washington, Colt McCoy will be starting. Philadelphia is looking like they're starting to pick things up after that loss to the Cowboys. They are 5-6. They got to get back into the thick of it. This NFC East is wide open still. The Redskins, Cowboys are 6-5. Philadelphia is 5-6. They got a big matchup coming up, I think, next week. I think is it next week? Yeah, next week. So we'll see how that goes. I'm taking the Eagles at home. So taking the Saints. I'll take the Falcons as my upset. Take the Broncos. Take the Patriots. Take the Chargers. And I take the Eagles. And a couple other notable games on here to look at that I didn't mention. I would say keep an eye on the Rams and the Lions. Would be a good matchup. We'll see how that goes. Lions have played some of the best teams in the NFL tough this year and won a couple of those games. They beat New England and Green Bay earlier in the year. They beat Carolina. Other than that, maybe Cleveland and Houston. Cleveland's 4-6-1. Surprisingly, this late in the season, they are still in the playoff line at 4-6-1. So is the Packers over the NFC. But I think I'd be betting on Cleveland to make it in Green Bay right now. But we'll see what's going on there. So appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment if you want. If you disagree with me, the reason I'm wearing the Tebow jersey is because they beat Florida State, and being down in Florida, they're my second favorite team. So hopefully they get a good bowl game. So y'all have a blessed week. I'll see you back here next Wednesday. I will post on Facebook that I'll be shooting the video out next Wednesday. So until then, y'all have a great week. Bye.